Hello everybody, so I was going to do a little video. I'm spreading fertilizer on the hay fields today. It's the first week of April. I normally like to do it a little bit earlier, but the price of fertilizer has been so stinking high that I guess my wishful thinking was that it would come down some. So last year I paid $550 a ton for the 1152 phosphate for the hay fields. This year it's $1,050 a ton. So it's increased more than 100%. That's the world we live in. It's pretty amazing what the price of fuel's doing, price of lumber's doing, price of steel. It's just an unbelievable rate of inflation we're doing right now. But you know, I was debating whether to even do this video or not. But what I was curious about is, so we're in eastern Utah, and a guy that I know real well, it's got a pretty big farming operation. He puts about 300 pounds the acre on his hay fields. Last year I also did 300 pounds. Talking to the local supplier here, he says we are one of the only ones in the whole valley here, the two counties, that do that much fertilizer. This year he said he can't hardly give fertilizer away. Nobody wants it because it's so dang expensive. So I don't know what I'm doing. What I've decided to do this year is I'm putting on 100 pounds to the acre right now. What I did last year is I did 150 pounds to the acre this time of year, early spring. I was a little bit earlier, I think it was February or March. And then mid-year between second and third crop, I did another 150 pounds. This year, with that huge cost increase, what I've decided to do is just do 100 pounds right now and wait and see what happens. I am hoping that if the demand's low, the cost will also go down. I don't know what the heck to think about it. It is a crazy, crazy deal. So yeah, who's to say? So another part of this story is there's a chemical that they treat the dry material with called Avail. This guy that I know real well, he is a firm believer in this Avail chemical. The fertilizer supplier I talked to says that there's not a lot of people that are using it, but they also believe in it. So it's about $150 a ton to treat the dry product with that chemical. So what I decided to do right now is 100 pounds the acre treated with the Avail. The theory behind it is the treatment makes the phosphate more available, that's why they call it Avail, to the plant. So last year, this time of year, when I did this early spring application, they didn't have any of the Avail chemical available to buy. So I just did the 150 pounds of the dry without the treatment. This year they had it. So I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'd like to know if anybody out there is familiar with this Avail chemical that's the treatment. It's relatively new. I mean, I'm a dang poor farmer and I don't know what I'm doing, so every year seems like it's a learning curve, but I would like to know if the chemical's been out forever, long time, is it a new thing? If anybody out there has experience with it, I'd like to hear it in the comments. You know, these dang inflation costs between fuel, I think last year at this time I filled my fuel tank, it was less than $2 a gallon. I just filled it about a week ago and it was almost $4 a gallon. I think it was $3.98. That's just astronomical cost increase. So two of my biggest expenses for operation is fuel and fertilizer. They've both went up 100%. Pretty sure when I'm selling hay to the local dairy, he's not gonna pay me an extra 100% for my hay. I'll be lucky if I get any increase from him at all. So I don't know, it's just a crazy world that we're living in right now, between the cost of doing business in the US and what's going on in, you know, Europe. Just a crazy world we live in. You know, I've done some shooting videos. Anybody that's involved in shooting at all knows the cost and the availability of ammunition. You know, I'm a big reloader at my house. Reloading supplies are almost non-existent. Found some primers recently here in a local shop. $9 per 100. I've seen them as high as $20 per 100. I haven't paid that. I paid the $9. I bought a few, but I'm afraid that's going to be the new normal. If everybody remembers a few years ago that we had a huge shortage of .22 ammunition. I remember buying it at the local Walmart for $10, $14, $10, $12, I guess, for a 550 round box. That same 550 round box right now might be $30 or $40. I haven't seen those in a long time, but I don't know. It's just a crazy, crazy time in history we're living in right this second. I don't know what kind of records are economically this is doing, but it's got to be setting some kind of a record inflation. Who knows? Just politically, economically, the world's on its ear right this second. So hopefully we can get through it. I'm sure that we can. I hope that the price of fuel will come down. Seems like the price of fuel affects everything. Don't matter what commodity you're talking about, if it's lumber, steel, fertilizer, hay, beef in the freezer. I don't buy beef in the freezer. Fortunately, we've raised our own beef for, several years now. But I have friends that buy it in the store, and they say that, here locally, that a price of a good steak's $10 to $15 a pound. That's unbelievable to me. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to fertilizing. This farming in the pickup's quite nice. I got this cart from, the local shop here, and it's a ground-driven deal, so you just pull it with a pickup. So, not a bad way to farm, I guess. Comfortable seat, radio playing, air conditioning blowing on you. Said that to my son one day, and he goes, "Yeah, Dad, that's not even like work." I said, "Oh no, it's not. Would you like to do it?" And he goes, "Oh no, I don't want to do it." So. Anyway, this whole farming deal is not for everybody. I have 4 kids. None of them have much interest in the agriculture activities. That's okay. It's certainly not for everybody. That's the beauty of living in America, that we can just have that freedom to choose. And I have this agricultural deal in my blood, and I was hoping one of my kids would be into it, but I'm not seeing it right now. So. Anyway, I'll get back to fertilizing and bounce around here in the pickup. So thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody's comments. In some of my shooting videos recently, had a ton of good comments about just sharing information, sharing experiences, sharing ideas. That was the whole reason I started this YouTube deal. Just people with similar interests can have a place, and they can go share information and seems like on the gun deal, there's always a project. You've got a new load you're trying, a new gun you're trying, new bullets, new powder, whatever it may be. It's just the project, I guess. I don't know, but this farming deal is just kind of a project too. I wasn't raised on a farm. I was raised as a kid helping the neighbors. That was in the days of 2-string hay bales, and there was a crew of us when it seemed like we hauled everybody's hay, and that was our summer jobs. But my family didn't own farms, and I never really wanted to farm. I always loved the horses, but as I get older, I'm starting to find some enjoyment in the farming too. So kind of worked out with the way things are. These smaller farms are just getting fewer and far between, and there's not a lot of small farms anymore. So anyway, going to share that with you. Hopefully somebody watches this that has experience with this Avail chemical. I'm curious to see what other people think of it. They say in our area, it doesn't seem like it's caught on, like it's a real popular thing. So anyway, please comment, subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Appreciate all the new subscribers. I've had quite a few in the last few days, so appreciate them. But anyway, everybody have a good night.